Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to our safe harbor. I am your host, Jane. Before we take a single step into today's journey, I want to pause and send my absolute deepest gratitude to you. Thank you for choosing to spend this precious time with me today. I know how fast the world spins, and I know how many things are demanding your attention right now. Whether you are listening to this while navigating through heavy morning traffic, doing the dishes at home, folding laundry, or simply letting yourself sink into your bed after a long, exhausting day, thank you. Wherever you are, and whatever you are doing, I hope this space brings you a deep sense of peace, clarity, and the exact medicine your heart has been waiting for. Before we dive into our topic today, I want to ask you a deeply personal question. Please be completely honest with yourself. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and smiled without a single ounce of criticism? Not to fix your hair, not to check your skin, not to suck in your stomach, but just to look at your reflection and say, "Thank you for carrying me." If it has been a long time, or if you can't remember ever doing that, please take a deep breath. Today, we are going to talk about the most important relationship you will ever have in your entire life. The relationship with yourself. We spend our whole lives trying to be loved and accepted by others, yet we constantly abandon our own hearts. Today, we are going to learn how to love ourselves again. What exactly is self-love? Many of us have been taught that it is selfish, or that it means ignoring your flaws and thinking you are better than everyone else. But that is a lie. Self-love is actually a deep, silent promise. It is a promise that says, no matter what happens, I will not abandon myself. It means being your own safe place when the outside world feels cold. Think about how you treat yourself when you make a mistake. You are human, not a robot. You will say the wrong things, trust the wrong people, and miss opportunities. But instead of offering themselves grace, most people live their entire lives in self-punishment. They say, "I shouldn't have done that. I'm so stupid. I always ruin everything." They think this heavy guilt will somehow make them a better person. But guilt doesn't make you better. It only keeps you stuck. Let me give you a beautiful example. Imagine a 12-year-old child accidentally spills a glass of milk all over the floor. You wouldn't scream at them and say, "You're a failure, you don't deserve love." No, you would gently say, "It's okay, let's clean it up. Just be careful next time." My friends, why can't you treat yourself like that? You are not 12 anymore, but you still make mistakes, just on a bigger scale. You do not grow by hating yourself. You grow by understanding yourself. The moment you accept your mistakes without shame is the exact moment you begin to change. Part of accepting yourself means breaking out of the prison of perfectionism. Perfection is not love. Perfection is actually fear wearing a beautiful mask. It is the fear of not being accepted, the fear of being laughed at, or the fear of not being enough. So many people put their self-love on a timeline. They say, "I'll love myself when I lose weight," or "I'll love myself when I earn $10,000 a month," or "I'll love myself when my past doesn't haunt me anymore." But they never reach that place, because every time they get close, the brain moves the target again, saying, "Be more, do more, fix more." Imagine you have a dear friend who stutters sometimes when they speak. Would you ever look at them and say, "I'll only love you when you speak perfectly fluently"? Or if a friend gains some weight, would you say, "I'll only support you if you look like a model"? Of course not. You love them exactly as they are. If you can offer that unconditional love to imperfect people around you, you absolutely have the capacity to offer it to yourself. The most beautiful, attractive people in the world are not perfect. They are real. They are the girl with stretch marks who walks with confidence, or the boy who failed 3 times but still shows up every morning. True self-love begins the moment you look at yourself and say, I am not perfect, and I love myself anyway. To build this love, you must look at what you are feeding your mind every single day. You know what a food diet is if you eat only junk food. Your body becomes tired and weak. But what about your mental diet? The thoughts you consume, the people you listen to, the social media you scroll through, what you feed your brain is exactly what you will feel in your heart. Imagine two different people waking up at 6 a.m. Person A opens Instagram, sees a heavily filtered model, and instantly says, I hate my face, I'll never look like her. Then they watch videos of people living incredibly wealthy lives and tell themselves, my life is a failure. That is their breakfast, not food, but toxic thoughts. Now imagine person B. They wake up, look in the mirror and say, I'm not perfect, but I'm proud I'm still trying. They listen to a motivational podcast, write down one thing they are grateful for, and spend 10 minutes in silence. Who do you think will feel more peace and self-love by the end of the day? You must build a clean mental diet. Unfollow accounts that make you feel like you are less than. Replace self-hating thoughts with healing ones. Your brain doesn't care if a thought is true or false. If you repeat, I am worthless enough times, it will believe it and find proof. But if you start repeating, I am worthy, I am learning, your brain will begin to find proof of your beautiful growth. And part of that healthy mental diet is the way you speak to yourself. You talk to yourself more than anyone else in the entire world. But if we are honest, most of us use a voice that is harsh, critical, and sometimes emotionally abusive. Imagine if someone followed you around all day long, whispering in your ear, you're so stupid. You're a failure. Everyone is better than you. Would you allow that person to stay in your life? No, you would block them and protect your peace. Yet, you say these exact things to yourself, and you have been listening to that voice for years. You are hypnotizing yourself with your own inner critic. Think of a young girl who fails an exam. She goes home and tells herself, I am such a disappointment, I always mess things up. She starts to believe it. She starts to act like it. And in her next exam, her brain is so full of fear that she fails again. Not because she isn't smart, but because she is not supported by her own mind. The battlefield is not outside of you. It is inside. Every single morning, I want you to talk to yourself like a best friend. Look in the mirror and whisper, I'm trying. I'm proud of that. I've been through a lot, and I'm still here. As you learn to speak kindly to yourself, you must also learn to protect your peace from the outside world. This means setting boundaries. Most people are terrified of setting boundaries because deep down, they are afraid of losing people. So they say yes when they desperately want to say no. They allow people to walk all over their time and energy, and they call it kindness. But let me tell you the dark side of this. When you always put others first at the expense of your own soul, you become a prisoner to their approval. Over time, this turns into deep resentment. You start asking, why am I always the one giving? Why do I feel so invisible? The truth is, you taught them to expect your silence instead of your limits. Imagine you have a friend who only calls you when they need help, who dumps all their problems on you, but never checks on how you are doing. You sit there, you smile, you nod, but inside you are burning with exhaustion. Now, imagine finding the courage to say, hey, I care about you, but I'm not available to solve this every time. I need space too. They might be shocked, but they will learn one crucial thing. You love yourself enough not to be used. Saying no is not rude, it is responsible. Saying this is not okay is not dramatic. It is incredibly healthy. If you do not protect your peace, no one else will. And protecting your peace also means practicing real, profound self-care. Self-care is not just going to a spa or watching Netflix all night. Real self-care is mental, emotional, and spiritual. It is about building a life that you do not constantly need to escape from. Think about your cell phone. If your phone battery drops to 1%, you wouldn't open 10 apps, turn the brightness all the way up, and start watching high-definition videos. You would stop and charge it immediately. So why don't you do that for yourself? Why do you wait until you completely break down? Until your body aches and your mind collapses, to finally allow yourself to rest? You are not a machine. You are a human soul. Go to sleep without guilt. Drink a glass of water like you deserve to be alive. Take 10 minutes of total silence a day. You don't burn out because you are weak. You burn out because you are taking care of absolutely everything else and forgetting to take care of you. Now, we arrive at the heaviest part of the journey, but also the most liberating. Forgiveness. Guilt is a silent poison that kills self-love. So many people walk around feeling like they wasted years, or made terrible mistakes, or hurt people in their past. They carry this guilt everywhere, like a heavy bag of rocks chained to their soul. They smile in public, but inside they hear a voice saying, "Look what you did. You don't deserve love." My friends, listen to me very carefully. You are not your past. You are not your worst moment, and you are not the same person you were when you made those choices. If a snake sheds its skin, does it ever go back and try to put it on again? No, because it has grown out of it. Then why do you keep visiting your old pain and old mistakes like they are your home? You are being loyal to your trauma instead of your truth. Imagine someone accidentally breaks your phone. They are devastated, they apologize, and they replace it. But for the next 5 years, they call you every single day crying and apologizing for breaking it. Eventually, you would say, "Please, it's okay, I forgave you years ago. Move on. You don't need to keep suffering." That is exactly what your soul is screaming at you right now. You have already suffered enough. Take responsibility, learn from the lesson, and then release yourself. You cannot become who you are meant to be if you spend all your energy punishing who used to be. You don't wait to water a flower until it has fully bloomed. You water it while it is still growing. That is what true self-acceptance is. It is looking at your life and saying, even while I am growing, even while I am a work in progress, I am still enough today. Imagine a child learning to walk. When they fall down, you don't scream, "You are a failure," until you walk perfectly. You clap, you pick them up, and you encourage them to try again. You are simply learning how to live. You are learning how to heal, how to set boundaries, and how to be enough. Stop hating yourself for not being a master at something you are just beginning to understand. Finally, to truly love yourself, you must be present. You cannot love yourself in the future if you do not love yourself right now, in this very moment. Self-love lives in the small, daily, mindful moments. How many times have you sat down to eat dinner, but your mind is miles away, chewing on your past regrets? Or you go for a walk outside, but your mind is replaying your failures. You are living inside your body, but your mind is never home. That is mental self-abandonment. Mindfulness is the beautiful practice of coming back home to yourself, coming back to your breath, back to your physical body. When you eat, actually taste the food that is nourishing you. When you walk, feel the solid ground beneath your feet, and be proud of your body for carrying you. In the present moment, you can finally hear the child inside of you whispering, "Please, stop running. Just be here with me." Your peace is not hiding in the future, and your life is not buried in the past. It is right here, right now. You have been through so much, You have survived every single hard day of your life. You've cried, you've failed, you've been judged, and you've had your heart broken. But look at you. You are still standing. You are still breathing. You are still showing up. That is a quiet, profound power that most people never truly see. Be proud of yourself. Even if no one clapped for you, even if the world never said well done, I am saying it to you now. This world does not need another perfect person. It needs more people who are brave enough to be real, to be healed, and to be beautifully human. Let's take a deep breath and bring all of these truths together. Loving yourself is the foundation of your entire life. It is not about being perfect. It is about keeping a promise to never abandon yourself. It means speaking to yourself like a deeply loved best friend and refusing to let your inner critic abuse you. It is treating your mistakes with the gentle kindness you would offer a child. It is setting firm boundaries to protect your peace, knowing that no is a complete sentence. It is treating your energy like a 1% phone battery and giving yourself the radical permission to rest. And above all, it is leaving the heavy rocks of past guilt behind, forgiving yourself entirely, and returning home to this beautiful present moment. You are a masterpiece and a work in progress at the exact same time. Before we close our time together today, I want to leave you with one final question to carry gently in your heart. Think about that inner voice we talked about. What is one kind, forgiving thing you can say to yourself today to replace an old, harsh criticism? Take a quiet breath and reflect on that. If you feel safe and ready to do so, please share your loving affirmation in the comments below. Let's create a space of absolute healing. I am always here, reading and holding space for your beautiful journey. Thank you, once again, from the bottom of my heart, for giving me the profound privilege of your time today. If no one has told you this lately, I want to say it now. I love you, not because you are perfect, but because you are real, and you are trying. If this podcast brought you comfort, clarity, or a spark of healing, please save this episode to listen to on those days when you forget your own worth. And please, hit the subscribe or follow button and share this with someone who really needs to hear it today. We are growing and healing together. Take care of your precious heart. You are powerful, you are worthy, and you are loved. This is Jane saying goodbye, and I will see you next time.